Hey students, this is Nusrat teaching you Electronic Commerce OCS 2002. I'm going to cover the topics under this e-commerce. In today's lecture is the first of all introduction to electronic commerce, and then what is e-commerce, like exactly what is the definition of e-commerce, and next birth and arrival of e-commerce, which is history of e-commerce, and what are the key drivers of e-commerce. Drivers of e-commerce means what are the forces which drives e-commerce, and the next is e-commerce a risk or opportunity. Somehow some says it is risk and some says it is opportunity, but we have to decide what is it, risk or it is opportunity. And the next one is limitations of offline model. Limitations I am saying of earlier model before this e-commerce. Introduction. E-commerce or electronic commerce. E stand for electronic. Electronic means the thing which gets done using electronic mode, means using computer or digital devices. Is a methodology of modern business which addresses the need of business organizations, vendors and customers to reduce cost and improve the quality of goods and services while increasing the speed of delivery. As we can see the very viral images of our system, like e-commerce is exactly attached to our computer system, or we can say electronic devices, and which gets done, which help us to get done shopping and replacement of coins and whatever the cash, and these are the simply digital cash and e-wallet, etc., and we can do this across the world. Now next is what is e-commerce. Now I just introduced the e-commerce. Now I want to define what is e-commerce. E-commerce means buy and sell goods, sharing and transfer of information and services online through public networks. I especially want to clear here, not only buying and selling goods is e-commerce. By doing means by buying and selling and other things like sharing and transfer of information and services like app service, all are these the electronic commerce through public network. Other definition I want to define, it is a trading in product or services. Trading कर रहे हैं, we doing trading of product and services using online or public computer, using computer or on computer. The process of conducting businesses electronically over the internet is called electronic commerce. Okay. E-commerce is a methodology of modern business which addresses the needs of business organizations, vendors and customers to reduce cost and improve the quality of goods and services while increasing the speed of delivery. Now going to some examples, like we in our everyday life we using the e-commerce things, like our online shopping things, for example Flipkart, Amazon and other websites. Electronic payment system, we use Paytm, we use PhonePe and other payment apps as well. Online auctions, now earlier we used to do the auctions offline, but in now we have switched on online auctions, and it is very useful for us. It is very time saving also, like bidding of government tenders also. Internet banking, which is a very useful option, with the help of e-commerce it gets very important thing gets possible, internet banking. And next is online ticketing. When we used to do offline ticketing, it was very hard to do wait in long queues and waiting for our turn, and sometimes we are not clear the status of what availability of the seats, but using online ticketing we all gets done. Now What is the e-commerce framework? If we study something, we know some framework arrives here, which sets the dimensions from where to where it works, and what are the layers of the process gets done through this. The electronic commerce has the following figure, we can see is a framework. In this, it is a layered structure, and we have 4 layers actually. One is electronic commerce application. Obviously, on the top layer of any framework, we have applications. Always application which is directly accessible to users, customers, or end users actually. And the next thing, we can divide these our applications into categories, like if user is people, then he is buying or selling something, and somewhere next thing, we at the end of application we introduces public policies like taxes, legal, privacy issues, rules and regulations, etc. Next thing, at the application layer is marketing and advertising, market research, promotions, and web content. We will study this related to web content, publications and advertising in our next chapters also. Last is, at the application layer, is supply chain management. Supply chain or management, I said, logistic and business partner. We maintain a database where we show how a product travel from source to destination, or customer to or we can say vendor to customer. The all thing recorded and maintained under the digital platform is called supply chain. We will study this also in detail. Next thing, if we talk about the infrastructure, it consists of the 5 components. One is common business services, which we implement on our digital media. And next thing, messaging and information distribution. Without the use of internet, we cannot apply the rules and regulation digitally. So these are the messaging and information distribution infrastructure. Next is multimedia content and network. Multimedia, if we want to advertise our website, or we want to do marketing or some database setup, we need multimedia content and network as well. Multimedia content, like if we want to design our website, we need HTML, Java, and to access our application at another destination, another point, we will need internet also. Network infrastructure, we need, next point is network infrastructure, which design our network. We need network like World Wide Web, but how our infrastructure is organized, how our internet is organized, or our industrial or campus internet looks like outside the campus. So we need infrastructure, network infrastructure, like our this service is accessible outside the department, outside or within a campus, or within some range. So we need infrastructure. And next thing, interfacing infrastructure. How we interface our infrastructure to another company, another vendor, another organization, or people. So collectively, this is the e-commerce framework. Last but not the least, it is very important, the last is management thing, which is the top level of our business, which decide what are the rules and how they will take decisions. Next thing, birth and arrival of e-commerce. How e-commerce generated and arrive in the industry, and how it getting higher and higher rise. It was initially introduced about 40 years ago in its earliest form. Since then, electronic commerce has helped countless business grow with the help of new technologies, improvements in internet connectivity, and widespread customer and business adoptions. One of the first e-commerce transactions was made back in 1982, and today it is growing as much as 23% year over year. What are the key drivers of e-commerce? What are the key factors? What are the key forces we derives e-commerce? So now, as we can see from the some of the diagram over here, like this is the laptop and mobile computers, and how people are even in the gathering, even in the crowded area, they focus on their devices. And we can see during the travel, they used to do their time, invest their time in some digital devices. So by using these options, we can utilize people are utilizing their time in traveling or somewhere in waiting, and they have digital devices. They have through this device they can access over the across the nation's things. So the e-commerce, these are the things pushes e-commerce to arrive. So these are the key drivers which includes which drives force to rise of e-commerce. Continue. What are the key drivers of e-commerce? One thing we have, I said we have lots of digital devices and digital media access, and the duration where we have to wait or we have to travel can utilize our time. This is the social reasons. But if we see about the point of view of the business, we can see it lowers the operational cost because of not requirement of physical infrastructure of a shop. It lowers the cost. And next, wider customer reach. It crosses the boundaries. It can be accessible to across the within the country and outside of the country as well. It's not limited to particular locality. And next thing, increasing internet penetration. As we know, people are daily increasing in numbers. As we know, internet users increasing daily in millions time. And the next is rise in demand for global product. It is a very we can say very attractive thing if we say it is I have bought this from America and I have bought this from England. So the rise in demand for global product is also the key driver for the electronic commerce. Is e-commerce a risk or opportunity? We can think it is risk if okay. First of all, I want to show how e-commerce grows. Now, if we see this diagram, we can see in India it is started earlier 2000 means exactly available to every of the customer. 2007 to 2009 is the earlier time when they started doing setup. And if we start someone started business in 7 to 9, this is the startup phase, this is the investment, this is the growth phase, and this is sustained growth phase. If we enter from here, as we can see, it is the growth phase for others who have started in 7 to 9. It will be more competitive environment for beginners. But if someone have started from these duration, now they are exactly doing along with the phase, they must be grow, and this is the assured opportunity for them. But if someone start in this stage or in this stage, there are lots of competitive people, competitive organizations, and he have to compete very well. If if the organizers of the particular organization lacks the sponsor or something, they can be at risk. So on our discussion basis, we can say late entry leads to the risk. Late entry to the business of e-commerce. Okay, next thing, right timing plus bad services or product is also equal to risk. Means we started in 7-9 but we provide very damaged type product or not good product and not good services, then also it is a risk. But if we started at right time, great services or great product, then it's a lifetime opportunity. So I not concluding that you if you want to start your business at right now because you grown up right now, so you have to I doesn't mean you cannot start because you have missed the 2007 to 9 phase. But if you start here also, you give better services, great services, and maintain your sponsors and investment as well, and maintain the level of competent also, then it becomes an opportunity. That's it for today's lecture. It's done, and we will meet next lecture. Thank you.